Ever been judged just because you're quiet? Ever been seen as weak just because you don't show off? But little did they know, your silence was just preparation for your comeback. There's something poetic about being underestimated, being seen as small, weak, silent, forgotten. People love to write your story before you've even sharpened your pen. They draw the ending in ink long before you've breathed your next sentence. But what they don't know is, you're just getting started. Let them roll their eyes when you speak softly. Let them mistake your silence for surrender. That's their weakness. That's their noise. Because deep within you, in that quiet space, no one notices something far more powerful is forming. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't crave attention. It is discipline. It is control. It is the unshakable resolve of someone who's been broken and chose not to stay broken. You see, the ones who change the world rarely announce themselves. They observe. They wait. They suffer silently. They endure betrayal without complaint. They sit at tables with people who smile to their face and speak behind their back. And they say nothing, not out of fear, but out of strength. Because true power doesn't react. It restrains itself until the time is right. There comes a moment in life when you must decide. Will you keep trying to convince the world of your worth, or will you become so strong, so unshakable, that you no longer need its validation? That's when the shift happens. When you stop trying to be understood and start trying to understand yourself. Let them doubt you. Let them whisper when you walk in the room. Let them assume you failed just because you've gone silent. Silence is not weakness. Silence is preparation. It's the sacred ground where all transformation begins. Most people are addicted to noise. They can't sit still. They can't face the voice inside. So they fill every moment with distraction, scrolling, comparing, judging, performing. But you've chosen a different path, a path of solitude, of discipline, of long nights where the only conversation is between who you were and who you're becoming. They think you're done. They think you've lost. But what they don't see is that you've been in the shadows sharpening your blade, not out of vengeance, but out of vision. You've learned the art of detachment, not because you don't care, but because you care enough not to be controlled by what steals your peace. Detachment is not bitterness, it's clarity. It's the moment you stop chasing and start choosing. You stop begging and start building. You stop explaining and start embodying. You realize not every battle needs to be fought, especially not the ones that cost your peace. You've learned to let go of battles that don't deserve your energy. But that doesn't mean you haven't fought your own wars. You've sat at tables with people who will never understand the storm inside you, and you've come to realize something powerful. Revenge isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's not about loud victories or dramatic gestures. It's about quiet, consistent growth. Revenge is waking up every day, even when you feel like collapsing, and choosing to keep going anyway. That is strength. That is control. And that's exactly what terrifies the ones who tried to break you. So you walk with calm, with grace, with silence. Let them underestimate you. Let them whisper, you've changed. Let them think you've grown cold. What they don't see is that the old version of you, the one who tolerated disrespect, who over-explained, who bent and broke just to be accepted, no longer exists. And the version standing in your place now, that version is done playing their game. You don't owe anyone your pain as entertainment. You don't need to explain the peace you've earned. You've made it through storms they'll never know about, and you did it with no applause, no audience, no rescue. That's why you don't scream. That's why you don't seek revenge the way they expect. You've chosen a quieter kind of strength, one that doesn't burn bridges. It simply walks away and builds a new world. You see, the greatest revenge isn't to destroy others. It's to build a life so full, so grounded, so meaningful, that those who once doubted you have no choice but to wonder how they ever missed it. You didn't become cold. You became focused. You didn't stop loving. You just stopped giving that love to people who only knew how to take. You stopped begging to be chosen and started choosing yourself. And this This is just the beginning. Every day, you carry within you the weight of all the times you kept going, when no one believed in you, and even now, they still doubt you. Let them, because here's the truth, their doubt is just noise. It fades when your results speak, when your discipline becomes undeniable, when your silence becomes your greatest sermon. Machiavelli once said, "It is much safer to be feared than loved, if one must choose." But what he truly meant was this: it is better to be respected for your strength than pitied for your softness. In a world that values appearance more than intention, people often confuse kindness for weakness. And you've learned the hard way. Some will only respect you once you stop giving. After learning to walk away in silence, you've realized you no longer need to explain anything. You don't need others to understand, because you've become the proof. Now you move differently. You observe before you speak. You say less, but everything you say carries weight. You're no longer in the business of convincing people of your worth. You are the evidence. Let them doubt you. Let them gossip. While they laugh, you learn. While they mock, you meditate. While they whisper, you work in silence. Because, eventually, time exposes all things. And those who once ridiculed you will come to understand. You were never broken. You were becoming. The road you walk, it's not for the faint-hearted. This path of silence, self-mastery, and discipline demands a kind of strength most aren't willing to build. Because it means sitting with pain without striking back. It means being disrespected and still choosing not to stoop low. It means having every reason to explode and still choosing stillness. And that's what makes you different. Most people react, you respond. Most people chase attention, you chase growth. Most people crumble under judgment. You use it as fuel. You've come to understand emotional control isn't about denying how you feel. It's about refusing to let those feelings dictate your direction. You don't run from your anger. You channel it. You don't bury your pain. You refine it. You've turned your suffering into strategy, your heartbreak into wisdom, your failures into foundation. And through it all, you remain silent. Because silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. It's where the soul recalibrates. It's the ground where purpose begins to grow. Silence isn't weakness. It's the mark of true strength.